that I have at the present moment, and I've sort of put it out towards finishing off with some Australian type rifles and so on. And I brought some international rifles, and I mainly collect sniper rifles and 22 trainers and a lot of other things, but generally in the rifle ranges. I used to have a lot of standard rifles.
Get the noise down.
And I had a lot of standard rifles, but then the collection got so big that I didn't have enough room. So without any further ado, I'll start. So the very first rifle here that I'm presenting today to you all is a K98 World War II. It's a shortened KR rifle with the Ajax scope on it, full power scope. This particular rifle is an SS rifle. It's issued to the SS. It's got the SS and skull imprinted on the actual. It's all matching. You know, the Germans had to be all matching with a matching leather case, leather covers as well. So all of it numbered. It's quite rare to see in this condition. These are quite good. As you can see, the scope comes off really easy, slides on really easy. From a re-zero perspective, that pretty much re-zeros from what I've checked. The same scope and mount are used on the Swedish M41Bs, and I've shot those and I've set the scope on and off all the time, and it's always back to zero. This is a Russian PU sniper rifle. This is I can't see without my glasses. So this is a Czech factory sniper rifle. This would have been after 1942 because the Czech factory only built them after 1942 and up to 1928. I was fortunate enough to buy 2 cases of these. So I have quite an extensive amount of these sniper rifles. They come in the PEM and the PE sniper, which is a longer scope, and it got an over mount, and then a big PEM, which is a sight mount. Now these were quite common. This particular case that I got was actually, they came across it in an assault mine. They put away quite a lot of these in a salt mine in Russia, and these were out of the salt mine, which there was hundreds of thousands of firearms. Just some Japanese sniper rifles here, some of the Nagoya, some are Arisakas. You know, they had the offset scope. These offset scopes, you know, I find it a bit hard to use, but then they were quite effective in World War II. Same with the Russian, actually, they were quite effective. You can't find any that are matching the rifles. The scopes are matching the rifles because when they captured them, they took the scopes off, put them in a pile, and then when you put them back on. However, I have seen one rifle. A guy in California, in Los Angeles, who's wrote the book on Japanese sniper rifles. He's got an action, just an action with a scope on its matching. His name is Victor, and he wrote the actual Japanese collector's book. And so this particular rifle is from his collection in California. He's a veteran. He's got amputated legs with a veteran of the 91 war. But quite a informative collector of rifles, mainly Japanese. This is the American military. I thought I'd bring one of these along. These are the Springfields sniper rifles, and this has got the 2-power scope on it. And these were the standard issue World War II. They take the front side off them. You know, it's a sniper rifle with the serial numbers on the side and the Remington not on top, where a standard rifle would be. Quite good rifles, 30-06 caliber. And all these rifles went up against each other at some point. We're going to the Canadian. This is a late war Canadian sniper rifle, number 32 Mark IV scope. I'm well familiar with the number Mark 32, Mark 1, 2 and 3. This is a Mark IV, 1944 stamped one. And it does have the spauderized stock there, and that came out of factory like that. They brought them out like that because they wanted the high cheek piece built onto the sniper rifle itself. So this was late war. It's in really good condition for its age, and I don't think it saw much action, especially at the end of the war. So I have a few of these in a few different configurations. One of the configurations is this. This was a number 4T Canadian long branch. Then it was converted to an L42A1. So this is only one of 6 L42A1s in the world that's long branch, made by long branch. It must have been caught up in the English arsenal, and they just picked it up and thought, yeah, it shoots straight, so we'll turn it into an L42A1. So in 1971, they kept the same Canadian scope on it, changed it to metric. It matches the stock, matches the rifle, the serial numbers match, and you'll see the serial numbers written here on the number 4Ts. That's an interesting ring. And so the serial numbers matching, and it's still got its original Canadian long branch number there as its serial number. So as you can see, this is the Mark III scope converted to metric. And one of the things that I do is I've been privileged to be able to buy some collections of people. One of the notable collections that I bought, a lot of the collection was Bob Remington's collection. I was blessed to be able to buy most of that collection. And some of these rifles are from his collection and some of them are not. So this came out of his collection. This is a Savage number 4 sniper rifle in very good condition. This one here is I'm going to put my glasses on for this one. So you notice this is a number 4, and all of you might know, but it's got a cut-off in it. And as you know, number 4s didn't have cut-offs, but this particular number 4 is a particular one because this is a trials rifle number 4, made in 1929. So it's a trials rifle, 1929 manufacture, and certainly a very rare one to see. I do have a 1928. It's not here today, but I bought some of them. So this particular sniper rifle here is a number 4T, but this particular sniper rifle is a 1931 number 4. There's a trials rifle that made 3,000 of these rifles, and then in the 1940, I forget, 1940 something, they converted them to sniper rifles, 1,500 of them. So again, they got the matching numbers here, 4668A. You got the designation here, and these were turned into sniper rifles because they were really well made in 1931. As you can see, the brass is here, and it's got the cut-off taken out as the sniper rifle, but if it was a 1931 rifle, it would still have the cut-off. And I do have one of those standard rifles with the cut-off in it. This is a real interesting rifle. It's got a grenade launcher on the front of it, which would have been on the Mark IVs, but got it on this one because this is a number 4 again, but it is a very early one because this is a 1940 manufacture, serial number 698. So it was the prototype before the actual number 4, the final number 4s. Still got the cut-off on it. They must have loved cut-offs, eh? It must have been like something they really liked and took them off at the last minute. But it's in quite reasonable condition, but this was the last prototype before they adopted the number 4. one of my little favourite rifles, this one here. It's a SMLE, and a lot of people pick this up and think in my collection it's just a standard SMLE, but it's not really a standard one. This is one of only two that I know of. There's one in a German collection. This is a 1928 action with a 1937 stainless steel barrel. So these were trials rifles. The serial number on this one is X2. I thought there was only 6. I was talking to Damien earlier, he thought there might have been 10 made with the stainless steel barrels. So what they did, you can see a bit of shine there. That bit of shine is the stainless steel. They painted the barrels black because they thought that the stainless steel would give you away at night, being nice and shiny. But it's still in really good condition for a rifle. I haven't seen the one in the Joros collection, but I knew that there's one there. 1928 action was still with a cut-off in it. 1937 barrel. It's been a long time since I took these guns out.
The collectors, keep your eyes off it, got my name on it.
So it's a really cool rifle to see, especially when you pull it apart and have a look at that barrel. Inside the barrel. This particular rifle was in the Bob Everything collection. Bob Everything was quite good at collecting. He had a great collection to put things together. So this is a pattern 13 rifle, and being converted, cut down with a timber. It's in .276 calibre, which would have been the calibre if they didn't go to World War I. The 303 was going to become obsolete, but 2.76 on the pattern 13s was going to be the rifle of choice until they went to war and it was too late to make them. So this was converted to a sniper rifle. I believe 6 of these were converted to, it's called the Ainsley rifle. And Bob Everything had this originally in his collection without the scope on it. You can see the mount on this scope are quite different to normal on a pattern 18 scope. They're quite different. And so Ainsley was playing around with these rifles. They wanted to fire around faster than 4,000 feet a second. They wanted to penetrate armour through a very fast round. So you'll find that this barrel is pretty much, burnt out from all the firing gone through, but still got some life in it. But you can see from the extra velocity and speed, it was really putting some heat down the barrel. Bob Everington, when a friend of his came to him and said he saw this scope and this mount on eBay about 15 years ago, and it turns out that this scope and mount are actually matching the gun. So Bob Everington rang the guy in England and said to him, I want that, I've got the rifle for that, what would you like? And the guy said, I would like a lot of money for it, I would like a P13. So Bob Everington swapped him one of his P13 rifles for that scope. They'd be matching the rifle. Now, I believe that there is only one other rifle in the pattern room in England of the Ainsley rifle, but without the scope. It doesn't have the matching. This is the only one that's got a matching scope on it. Ainsley put this recoil pad on it. They must have been shooting like a really hard round with a spring in it. It springs here. And obviously shortening the timber, the original timber, and making it lighter would be, the recoil might have been harder, but .276 ammo is very hard to find. Very, very hard to find. I believe the last time a 20 round pack went in Canada, went for like about $3,000 for the 20 rounds. Original 2.76 rounds, which is like a 270 round. You can play around with it if you really want to really make a round for these. But again, you'll see here that it's quite a unique rifle, and it's quite unique in the way the iron sights are actually set and set up, and this quite configuration on getting it set up. You see the bolt's got the bent over bolt like the P13s in it. Yeah, by the way, if anyone's got any questions, let me know. So this is a number 6 rifle, Australian number 6 trials rifle. It's one of the ones I used to have quite a broad collection of these. They came in a few different configurations. This is the later configuration with the sight at the back. This one's missing the sight. And this is the last one that I've had. I used to have the short and lightened and so on. I selling them off because I decided to make my collection more into sniper rifles. And so yeah, this one is one of the last ones I'll be selling. And got it up for sale. Now, number 6, really good condition. Unfortunately, someone took the rear sight off and drilled and tapped it. That's why it's going pretty cheap. It's quite rare, about 250 of those roughly made.
I could interrupt for a moment on
Sure.
those. One of our founding members, Sid Thurger, was at the range here on the day that those were being sold off through the Rifle Association.
Wow.
And he'd headed out here and got here too late to get anything, but he already saw one drilled intact with the scope put on it in the back of the car.
Wow.
On the very day that it had been sold.
Wow.
So, you know, that may be the one Sid saw, but it,
Might be.
from it going into private ownership, it got the scope on it within 4 hours.
Yeah, they were quite
Sorry.
Okay, no, it's a great thing. And
I've seen a few of those that have been tapped in that same fashion come through the system. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then I think I saw one that had a penny inserted into it as well. You know, so people played with them.
But yeah, as I say, they were actually sold off, or I won't say, they were sold off literally here,
Yes.
and they went real fast.
yeah, so one of the things about them is they also changed them to 308. Australian Air Force put a 20-round magazine on them and changed them to 308, but they weren't very successful in the 308 because the actual action couldn't handle the strength of the 308 round. And I do have one of them with a little bit of a split in the stock from the 308. Yes, but they're quite nice rifles. I've never really shot any of these rifles. I'm a collector of these rifles more than I am a shooter, and I probably wouldn't have the time to shoot them anyway. I do have a L42A1 that I've shot. It's not this one. This is the most complete L42A1 I've ever come across out of all the ones that I've got. I've got the Australian issue ones that were issued to Australian Air Force. They're pretty good. So this one came with all its books in it. Target books, how to use it, descriptions, all in there, guide the art of coaching on the range. And that's something that all the snipers got. They came with the sniper's gloves, the bit of webbing. And it's very interesting, this one, because it came with its cigarette pack, extra magazine, which you don't see much, you don't see them like this. The cleaning kit. This is the brush for the cleaning. This is the rare one that keeps breaking, but this one's in really good condition with the brush in it. It's very rare that you see the brush in that plastic holder, and a lot of this plastic gets brittle and breaks off. That's why they're rare to find them in the pack. This particular one came also with a pack of chocolate, just in case just in case you're out here on the range and get a bit hungry, you can. And then we've got the boiled sweets, just some pull-throughs. So these came in the kit, and then you've got the. I'm going to just take all these bits out because then it's easier to take the rifle out. This is a compass. It's very rare to see this actual leather case with the compass in the kit. Then we've got the got the spotting scope, of course, and then the spotting scope with these were the World War II spotting scope. What they did, they improved them to actually allow for, in the front here, you can change your sight and your magnification. And there's the extra magnification to go in there, so you can change that out. It also comes with, put that over here, the strap here for your ranging scope, I guess, your spotting scope. The mount, this is your mount for your night vision scope that you put on the side of the rifle. I did forget to bring the night vision scope. It's quite a big scope in a case, it's about this big, but it does fit on the side of the rifle. So this was the mount that you unscrewed your other, well, the one the rifle is actually this is another compass that you put around. You can wear it as a wrist compass, little compass that come with it, and a secondary compass. Then the rifle, sorry, this is the rifle cover, your action cover. So with the rifle, it's got your side mounts on it there. There's your 308 magazine. Again, there's your serial number for the scope serial number. As it says here, 23195. The scope can is numbered to it, and the actual scope will be numbered to it as well. This was done in Holland M47C, and again, this one was when it was a number 4T. It's a 1971. I don't know, I don't think this rifle, besides, I mean, there's hardly any wear and tear on the actual magazine. There is it's quite a neat rifle for what it is. So, this was the scope can that comes with it, and as you can see, the serial numbers on the tin, and I've got the scope in here. Yeah, and the scope's really in really good condition. You can tell this rifle hadn't seen much action. Yeah, there you go. So again, the serial number of the rifle's on the actual mount, and the serial number on the scope matches the rifle. So this would have been, sorry?
Speak up.
This would have been the original number 4T scope, changed the metric in the 1971 round of, so before this rifle was made, there was a couple of other rifles. There was the X42 experimental, and there was the L39A1 as well, and there was a couple of other rifles made. The 39 didn't have a scope, and then they also made the Envoys and so on for target rifles from the, oh, I thought I dropped that. From the number 4Ts, they got the accurate rifles, and with those. So as you can see, it's very, very rare you find a fully complete set in here, and this is one of those rare times that you see it. I think did I show you the cleaning kit? That's a little cleaning kit that came with it, and the spare magazine. The spare magazine is really important because you don't see them much. They go out, but they're To have a brand new magazine sitting in the case, it's quite rare to see that. And this is your sling. This was the sling they went to from the original sling, which is the newer type material, okay, like canvas type material, but it's in the formation of the same as these ones here, which is this particular one out in leather. They're pretty much similar on how they work, except that's the leather one. You don't see these slings much, because a lot of times they're taken out, and I don't know why you don't see much at all. So again, it's a complete set. The only other thing that's not in here that I normally would have it in my collection, because I didn't bring any ammo, is the original 20 round box of ammo that's in here, this one. I didn't bring any ammo today, so I just left that one at home. So yeah, has anyone got any questions? It's got all the description here and the tag here. It's about the L42A1. When I was getting this rifle certified as a L42A1, because it's Canadian long branch, remember they did hundreds of these ones that are British rifles, but these 6 that they know of, they got caught up in the manufacture or conversion, the L42A1. To verify it, the photos had to be of the mag wheel, of the machining. Laidler and a few other people had to verify them on a couple of different groups of collectors, and Laidler being the person who was making these back in the 70s. There were certain tolerances in the mag wheels, because when they changed them to 308, what I was told, some of the manufacturers number 4Ts, because rifles were getting made in thousands, sometimes they'd mill off too much of the 303 number 4Ts and in certain little areas, and they needed those areas to stay there for the strength for the 308 round. That's what I was told. And so the machining, so I had to take photos, take it apart, take photos inside and out, make sure, and then it was verified as an original L42A1 in a long branch. It never came with a case, by the way. That's what I want to point out to you. I don't know whether it should have had a case, because it went through the production line and conversion. So cases should have happened. I go back to a bit of World War I here. This is just an SMLE with a Gibbs sight on it. I brought the 2 packs with the Gibbs sights on. You'll see, and I put the Gibbs sight on the front. This is your front sight right here, and your rear sight. So there's different magnifications in these rear sights. So if you look inside the boxes, which will open up, you'll see how they present them. So there's some other sights in there, rear sights, rear magnification, and so on. There's a little booklet there.
I think they were usually only at 2 or 3 magnifications. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3 magnification, and then some. I believe there's some different colour lenses as well.
Yeah, I've got one that's a 2 magnification.
Yeah, there was the Gibbs was one of the manufacturers of these sights, and this is another one here again. A lot of detail. There's another Gibbs sight in here.
That's very rare, very hard to find.
I've only got 2. No. How many have you got? 20?
Just one.
Just one. Yeah. I've known Norm for a long time. I didn't even know he was a collector of guns and so on. He was my client. I had my civil company. I used to do a lot of excavation and demolition for where he used to work, and he was a very hard client, I can tell you. I would have had a bigger collection if he actually allowed me to make some money. So I brought some trainers along. I like trainers. They've just got a really neat way of... This particular trainer, the British made these, and so this is a long branch. So this, when you load it, the only way you can fire it is by putting pressure with your shoulder here, pushing this in, because you're up against a wall, okay, like this, and your paper target is on the wall, and you're pushing with your shoulder, and there's a little pin that fires up here, little sharp pin, so you wouldn't want to put your finger there, and that little pin fires, and and only fires when you've got the pressure on. So it wants you to really hold the rifle. Oh well, it doesn't want to fire either, because it's got a safety on it.
And a little target frame and a little target.
Yeah, so that helped with this resight and this sight and this sight. It helped you, just gave you the piece of paper, just allowed you to, if you moved slightly, you could tell your movement at a long range or something to that. But they're quite neat. This is a long branch model. Yeah, I've got a couple of these with in boxes. They came in their boxes, British and long branch.
There's a couple of different versions there. The Swift.
The Swift
trainers.
Yeah, Swift trainers, yeah. I think I've got a couple of those. Let's see if this works. Oh, not going to fire. Not today. So this is an older type 22, World War I. So I can't see the designation on this one. But it's a pattern 2, Parker Hale magazine. It's a 10-round magazine that was made for, I guess, so you didn't have to shoot it one at a time. You locked it in like that after you dropped the rounds in. When you let it there, it sprung up. The front of the face bolt has to be shaved a little bit to accept this angle to feed the rounds in. Yeah. So these magazines are quite rare these days. These are, I think there was, I'm trying to remember, it's been a long time since I've done a presentation, but I think there's 130 of them were made, so they're quite rare. The fortunate thing about Australia is we got these trainers. A lot of the trainers were given to Australia and New Zealand, and we got some really pretty, really well.
It's rare to find the rifle with the shaved bolt.
Yes.
The Parker Hale.
Yeah, correct. This is just another 22 with another configuration. This had it's got a really neat rear sight on it. So you got the flip up, flip down, then it also flip to the side, so you could use your middle. So if you wanted to shoot with your middle rear sight or your rear sight, these are for a 22. You know, you could play around with it and learn, which is really neat. I think just to see the mechanism that they put into these, and the spring load, it's spring loaded, so it's quite neat. Quite a lot of nice work in it. You know, I said to my wife, you know, when I was getting married, I said to her, I want to have a harem, and she said no. I was devastated, so I went and got rifles, and then my current harem. And, you know, when you got a rifle, right, I mean, you look at it, you see all the curves, and you can load it and fire it whenever you want, right? Okay, that's the difference. And my wife's still happy to stay with me. This is a pattern 14, number 2. It's got it's quite a nice rifle. It's got the cut-off. They're quite rare. The pattern 14, number 2. It's got the volley sight still on it. It's got the ivory buttons here, and it's quite a nice rifle. It's a good representation of that era type rifle. Yeah. The designation on this one's printed on this side. And just read it, oh sorry, on the lower side here, the pattern 14. Number one, sorry, this is the number one. This one here is a number 4 long branch converted to a 22, so it's a number 7. Number 22, so its designation is number 722, Mark 1, 1945. It's got a 22 on the actual magazine. When you open it up, the magazine's a little bit different to the other one. It's a lot easier to load your single round. And again, this has got some peep sights at the back that lift up. This rifle is pretty much unused. I've got the original box for this and all the tools and so on. It's quite a nice... I was running out of room in my car, so I couldn't bring all the boxes. This is another 22 trainer and a number 4 model. It's a number 9, referred to as a number 9. Again, in pretty good condition. Yeah, these actually shoot quite well, these 22s. I did say before I hadn't shot a 22, but this pattern 14 number 1 actually shot some rabbits with this one at my place. I thought I want to see how good it shoots. I shot my first rabbit about 60 metres with these open sights. My eyes were a bit better back then, but so it works quite well. They shoot really well. If you guys have a look here, it does have this particular bolt is a bit different because it used to have the stripper clip, which I've taken off for the 22. But I forgot to mention that stripper clip. This is a lot of people will see this now. It looks like a number 5, feels like a number 5, but it is actually a number 5 trials rifle trainer. So this is a 22 trials rifle trainer. It's got the it's got a box magazine built into the actual 303 magazine. I believe they only made 10 of these rifles. I haven't seen another one anywhere else, but it must be around. But this is still, it's got the M47C Holland made in BSA 1945. So I guess they were looking for trainer rifles to meet their number 5 jungle carbines. Got some nice checkering here on the stock.
Yep.
So this is a pattern 14 Mark 1T with an Aldous number 4 scope. This would have been issued in the Australian Army, World War II. I believe this one here, I've got some notes about it, and I can't remember everything, but I believe this one would have gone to the Pacific Theatre and maybe even used in the Kokoda campaign. So these were converted in Australia to sniper rifles using the Aldous or the pattern 18 scopes. This is quite a rare one with this Aldous scope on it. It's a Mark 4 scope. Yeah. So, a couple of things. This particular rifle here is quite a collectible rifle. It's a very heavy rifle. You can hear the lead in it. It's got a lot of lead in the stock. Don't know why, but somebody wanted it heavy and they wanted it to move around. So when Australia built the HT rifles in World War II, they went through to Vietnam and didn't really use the HT, but used them in Korea. But then they wanted to have the trials and see what rifle they were going to go to from about 1977. So this particular rifle it's got all the stamps on it as the trials rifle with a Carl scope on it for the Australian Army. This was trialled against the M82 scope, and this particular rifle, it's got the dates on it, the designations, the serial numbers all match, and it was issued to the Australian Army. And up in here, which I can't see, but there it does say 1977. A few other designations in here. Along here is on the actual receiver it says 1977. Trials, it's got the stamps, broad arrow. So this is an Austrian rifle, SSG-69. I believe it shot really well, or it went really well, but they didn't accept the plastic magazine. These magazines were too brittle, and when they come off, it's very hard to come off. Like they haven't taken off forever. But they were very brittle and they were very easy to break. I believe it didn't make the cut for the Australian military. This is why it always looks funny, this in between the rest of the collection. It looks like a hunting rifle, but really it has the designation on it for a trials rifle. There you go, in here. And on top of the scope there. I think while they were trialling, they broke a few of these magazines. There's a rifle here, it's heavy, I'll tell you. I don't want to carry it too long. So, Australian Army went with the Parker Hale M82 sniper rifle. So this is the M82. It's quite rare to see these because they weren't necessarily sold to the public. So a lot of them were cut up. And so this is the 1200 TX rifle. It's got a Carl scope on it. Carl's was a very accepted type scope. So you can see that this rifle went up against the SSG in the trials, and this was accepted as our sniper rifle in 308. Oh, that SSG was 308, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, quite a heavy rifle again, a heavy barrel, floated barrel. Typical high, good condition type rifle. So, back in the Commonwealth Games, 1988 I believe, this is a ticker hunting rifle, and it's got a Carl scope on it. Very similar, nearly identical to that M82 scope. And this particular, this is a 22-250 caliber ticker. And this particular rifle was bought by the SAS, the anti-terrorist sniper rifle, and there were 6 of these bought in a gun shop in Brisbane on the Australian SAS credit card, and these cases came with them originally. So as you can see, it's a normal standard sporting rifle, T55 ticker rifle, very accurate, very in 22-250. There's 6 of those. I 6 of these were bought. I have 2 of them in my collection with the original cases. And I've got the letters from the War Memorial with the serial numbers that are out there. This is the War Memorial confirmation for this particular rifle. So another part of Australian history for you all to... and then this is a Steyr F88 model. You know, still being used to some extent in the Australian Army. These removable barrels. Yeah, it's got the fixed scope on it, so you weren't going to... Hopefully it should never be zeroed again. Should have just stayed where it is. I don't know, I haven't dropped this one enough to tell you if it comes out of zero. But I have used it. It's quite a nice rifle to use. So there's some of the Australian, you know, that are a little bit different. I'm just going to skip the Bren gun till last, but I'll go over here. In this case over here, and it's really hard to find these cases. It's very hard to find. This is a very rare case because some of the people that I know that are collectors have actually asked me for the baffles in this particular, because their cases don't have the baffles in them, so they can make their own baffles. So 2 HT sniper rifles came in these crates. When you the thing about, if you all may know, a lot of HTs had the serial numbers not matching the scopes. The scopes not matching the rifles, and that's because 2 things happened. When I took one scope can out and one scope can out like that and put them down and took the rifles out, sometimes they gave you the wrong rifle, the wrong scope can. They all fit each other, but they, you know. So I believe these crates are pretty rare. I haven't seen too many in this condition, but in here, I might show you so they sit upside down, the bolts are taken out of the rifles. And basically, take your rifle out. No bolts, the bolts are sitting underneath the next baffle and you put them together. So this is a very unique way of seeing HT rifles, where a lot of times you'll see the rifle in itself, but that's the bolt sitting there. These 2 particular rifles, I don't think ever left this box. I don't think they've ever been fired. Yeah, there's no scratches in the magazines, the bolt faces are clean. I think they just came out of factory, they were test fired and put in there. I don't think they ever left the box. That's quite unique. I remember the first time I took these out, I didn't pay much attention to where the bolts sat. Took them out and then, oh shit, where did these bolts go? And then I had to work it out again. It was quite funny, but there's only one spot that they're going to go. But you know, you don't pay attention, just excited to see it all. Maybe I should have paid more attention. But generally speaking, yeah, so, you know, owning a few HTs, I've never seen them in the crate, so I was pretty much very blessed to find this particular case with these rifles in it. So why? Again, these in, so these are all matching. Of course, these, I've checked them all out. The cases are matching, the scopes are matching, all the mounts are matching. And you know, on HTs, there's also not just there's also not only the scope matches, but the actual rings around the scope, they should match their numbers, and around the actual outside of the I ring on the brass, there's a number there. If you're focusing with a magnifying glass, you can see around that brass ring, there's an actual number there as well that will match some of the other parts in the scope. And that's really important. Some of them, I'm not sure if you guys know, I forgot his name, up in Singleton, who put it together trying to work out who actually put these rifles together. He's been able to put that there. His actual spreadsheet on these rifles is probably more comprehensive than the Lee Enfield book now. The Lee Enfield book is the Bible on it. You're going to get all your serial numbers and everything. But he's been breaking it down to who's the actual armourer that made the gun. That's quite unique. His name's Brad Hedges, actually. Just remember his name. So he's quite good about that. Yeah, when he saw this crate, he couldn't wait to come and get these baffles to make baffles for his crate. They're pretty rare, I'm sure. And yeah, and so we get to our last piece, and this is a Bren gun, British Bren gun. I believe the barrel is Lithgow. I just find these unique guns, and I guess one day they'll take them all off us, or we'll have to weld them shut and so on. But it's really good to see up close. A lot of times, I'm not sure if you know, but in the US they actually got these now shooting one round at a time. They're like a straight pull. They're selling them in the US as a straight pull in the Bren gun configuration in 308 and 303. So
they have that in the UK as well.
In the UK as well, yeah. So I think, you know, if you could do a straight pull and enjoy it like a bolt action, it'd be really good. I'm not sure if we could get across the line, you know, with our current laws, because I might, you know, it's still a Bren gun, you know. So it's a bit hard to see. Now in this crate, you know, you have the magazine holder. I didn't bring the kit, but the kit fits in the front here. You guys know the magazine's still got the dust cover. Yes. So because there's not many people that you can ask about who's using the Bren gun, well, when I first got it and all that, so I went out and I thought I'm going to test fire this. I'm watching some Google channels and all that sort of stuff and put it together, and I'm sure if I had some of you there, you might have educated me, but you know, I've laid it up and I've gone, okay, I'm ready to go. What have I done? I've put my phone under here and I've got my finger under here, right? And I shoot the first 2 rounds, and then he broke my finger and smashed the screen on my phone, because I didn't realise I threw it down that hard. I thought it just fell down, right? I'm thinking, surely I couldn't throw it that hard. Well, I tell you, I couldn't move my finger for about 4 weeks, and my phone was completely smashed. But then again, it's not something that, you know, if we went out in the range here, I'm sure, and I went out with a bolt action, never shot one before, everyone would be there to help you, right? But how many people are going to help you with a Bren gun? So that was an interesting day. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, surely somebody could have told you in all those YouTube channels. Surely they said they put your hand under there, but none of them said nothing. So it's one of those learning experiences of mine. You know, I'm always very open. It's a very privilege for me today to show you my collection. I'm still growing my collection. I look to buy collections and buy things, but and my collection is very broad. And if I get the opportunity again one day, I'll come and bring some of the other rarer items that I've got for you. And yeah, it's a real pleasure to be in this collecting forum. So thank you very much.
Robert,
my name's Grant. I've been in the collecting business, a gun business, for a long time too. Not literal business, just having fun with it. And I saw the story over there. I hope I can ask Robert to touch it and tell you a little story about that. Along the way, I came across this weird device. What is missing is a steel American soldier's helmet. That clips on the back and it goes over the top, and the other front clip under there clips on the peak in the front of the US Army officer's Army helmet. At the back is a battery box with 2 C-size cells, 2. How much is that total voltage? 3 volts. And then the electronics are in there too, and that runs the power up, the voltage up along the 2 cables to the front detectors to 11,000 volts. So you just got to make sure the connectors are good. All right, give you a little tickle, and the on-off switches up the back. Now the whole idea of this was discovered when the Americans got serious about Vietnam back in 63, 64, and after the Dien Phu and a few other big bases got attacked systematically by the VC and the regular army, North Vietnamese regular army. Okay. They invented these things so they could sit around, their men could sit around at night and see the infiltrators coming. They're infrared. Second generation infrared. The first generation ones what the Americans had, they invented for the use in Korea with their M2 carbines and that big infrared light. So, well, these ones don't need so much the infrared light, but they work better with them. These ones still work, by the way. But there's a few riders with this. Don't look at white light or hot things at night with them, and don't use them in the daylight, of course, because they rely on the residual infrared heat coming off bodies, people running around the paddock with guns wanting to shoot you. So that's what they were used for men sitting outside protecting the bases. They went on patrol with them too, but they're pretty rare back then. And I was lucky enough to come across this set in the 80s. But basically, once they're on your head, they're still usable. These, sorry I didn't bring the helmet now. They actually flip up so you can actually talk to people, but it destroys your vision a bit. You know, you can't see properly because of the intense green light inside when you fold them down and actually put them on your head. Now, they're adjustable and they go on and knock all the residual light out of your eyes so you can actually focus on the lens inside. This is the first example here. No, the second example. The ones in Korea were quite primitive. They're quite big and monocular. There's a binocular, of course, and the tubes inside are only that big. And what are they made of? Glass fibre tubes. We all use glass fibre today to get our internet delivered to our NBN boxes, don't we? Well, this is when they were first invented to be used for this purpose. And they made it, of course, to what we're using for today. There's a big pack of glass fibre tubes in there, and energy is used to illuminate that and then magnify and pick up infrared only.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, here we have 3 Gurkha knives, all different. This one's hand carved, I believe it's jade, but very nice little Gurkha's knives, that one. It's got its little 2 pouches. This one's this is a H. Himmler, and that's the death of the SS. That's their little knife they had. It's called the SS Gurkha. Himmler. These are a couple of knives that were given to me by a club who were going to throw them in the garbage tin. I believe as close as I can get is around Afghanistan or Nepal. But quite a nice knife. I haven't got any proof of what it is. This is a Japanese naval Dirk, lovely little thing, clips together, and this one is a Chinese one, was Chiang Kai-shek gave them out during around World War II. This one's got an interesting past. This guy was a bagpipes player in World War I, and he went right through World War I, and his only weapon was this strapped to his cheek, and he ended up living right through World War I. Okay, and his grandson sold me that because it was grandpa's. Very interesting. This one I can give you absolutely no clue what it is. The only thing I can think it is a handle for a walking stick. Because it's got a curved blade. Now, you wouldn't carry a blade like that around empty, so I'd say it had to have something in it, and the only thing I can think of, it was a walking stick. But the other end's gone. But it's a very interesting knife, made somewhere, probably India, somewhere around that. And this is another one of the 3 knives that was given to me. And that, I think, is Afghan or Persian. Not quite sure. Very nicely made knife. And they were all going to the tip because the guy worked at the club was told him, tuck them in the tip and get rid of them. So he rang me instead. So I got rid of them for it. And this is just the islands up around Indonesia somewhere. I don't know anything about it because it's the only one I've got. I've got a great collection of fighting knives. So anybody got any fighting knives, let me know, and I'm quite happy.
Right. You brought in a couple of training rifles. This is obviously a wooden training blank. Interesting in that all the magazine and everything is all still carved out of wood. A lot of them had fitments on them, etc. All different. And I'd always thought that used to belong to Bob Everington. Bob lived not far from my place. And I always told Bob that I was interested in it. I have an extensive collection of these and an extensive collection of these. I think this, from memory, is a Mark 9.
Fencing musket.
I can't see it, but...
Fencing musket.
Yeah, it's a fencing musket. So, again, I have an extensive collection of these, and they're obviously used for planer practice. Again, part of Robert's collection, not mine. Although that and a couple of the other pieces here have all got my name on them, so don't get jealous. Right? It's too late. Last but not least, and we thank you, Paul, for your patience. Paul's got a couple of knives up there to talk about, and then we're free to mingle and